You know what I love about snakes and mushrooms that they both have in common? Is that they do so much more good than harm, and yet they both have historically been demonized. It's crazy to think how deeply this fear of snakes has been ingrained into humanity because of some religious ideology. When the truth of the matter is, if you go back into the origins of religion and spirituality, that the snake has not been considered the bearer of evil, but wisdom, knowledge. Even in the original story of Adam and Eve, it was the snake that told the truth. Realize that? In that story, it says God tells Adam and Eve that if they eat of the apple, they will die. And the snake says, no, you won't die. You'll be like the gods. You will see. And that's the reality of the story. Yeah.
How is Billy not huge now and bumpy since he ate a huge rat?
Sammy?
Yeah.
Well, he ate a huge rat about 2 weeks ago. So he has digested it and turned that into muscle, just like that hamburger you ate for dinner is going to turn into muscle. Everything has to eat. And that's a really good thing to point out, is that snakes eat rats and mice and things that spread disease. Did you know that?
Like other stuff, not like other stuff than just rats and mouse and mice.
Well, they will eat some other stuff.
Like what?
But, well, sometimes they eat birds. But the main thing that snakes like to eat is mice and rats. And mice and rats carry more disease than probably any other animal, aside from like mosquitoes or something. So, the rats were the origin of the bubonic plague, which killed a third of the population of Europe at its time. And snakes are very effective at ridding us of rats and mice. So, I've always loved snakes because they have always symbolized to me the foolishness of stereotyping and
Dad,
the power of knowledge.
Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy looks so pretty.
He is beautiful.
But Dad?
Do you know these kinds of snakes come from almost Costa Rica, close to Costa Rica where we just were. They're from
Dad.
a place called Guyana. Yeah.
Dad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Sammy's butt.
Oh, well, it's hard to see a snake's butt, but they have one, like everything. They have a butt. They make poop. They eat and then they make poop. They take the good stuff and turn it into fuel and muscle.
Yeah, but just
and the bad stuff and poop it out, just like you.
Yeah, because food turns into poop.
Mm-hmm. The bad stuff, the stuff that your body doesn't need, be easy with him. His tail's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah. And that's another thing that mushrooms and snakes have in common, is that it takes wisdom to know which ones will kill you and which ones can heal you.
And which ones are nice to you.
Yes.
And which ones are nice to you.
Did you know that snake venom is used to treat a multitude of diseases? There's even some snake venom that is being used to treat cancer. So, I think it's always really, really helpful, don't you, to question
Dad?
what we're told, and especially
Dad?
stereotypes. Yeah.
I can't believe that Sammy's big.
Oh, he's not big. He's still little. He'll be real big.
Yeah, but
one day, eventually.
He's just
He's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's big.
Yeah, he's getting bigger. Some people would think this is a very big snake.
Why?
Because some people are really scared of snakes, and they think that even a snake that's as big as your finger is big.
But Sammy is not big as your whole body.
Not yet. He will be. Inshallah. How come you're not scared of Sammy?
Because he's sweet.
Yeah, he's sweet.
Dad?
Mhm.
When Sammy grows up big,
Mhm. What? When he grows up big, what?
will he still be sweet?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Even when they get big, boa constrictors are usually sweet. Especially if they're sweet from babyhood. You know that some snakes are poisonous, though, right?
Yeah, like snakes are poisonous in Costa Rica, right?
There is a poisonous snake in Costa Rica called the fer-de-lance.
Yeah, but there's some snakes in Costa Rica that are not poisonous.
Exactly, like boa constrictors.
Yeah.
Yep.
So where did
That's why it's really important to know. Always, before you ever pick up a snake, you have to know exactly what kind of snake it is. Just like mushrooms. Before you eat any mushroom, you have to know exactly what kind of mushroom it is.
Like if you pick up a poison one and you eat it, you'll die because it'll be called a poisonous.
You can. Some poisons kill you. Some poisons just make you really sick.
Yeah.
Psilocybin is not a poison at all. There are still people out there, believe it or not, that need to learn, become aware that psilocybin and the effects thereof are not because of toxicity. They're because of
Dad?
an affinity for neurotransmitters.
Dad.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm touching a snake because I never touched Sammy before.
You have two.
Yeah, but I haven't touched Sammy in like 2 years.
It's been a couple of months at the most. But yeah, Sammy's a good snake. He's only been with us for a little while. He's a young'un.
Dad?
Yeah?
When is Sammy gonna die?
Oh, I don't know. These snakes can live to be 25 or 30 years old. He would be very, very big by then. Did you know that snakes never stop growing?
Why?
That's just how they're made. They never stop growing.
Sammy's so pretty.
He is so pretty.
He's more pretty than that boy. He's more pretty than his poisonous snakes.
There's some very beautiful poisonous snakes out there too. There's some very beautiful poisonous mushrooms out there. There's some very pretty and mean people out there. Did you know that? Sometimes there's people who are really pretty and they look nice and they're attractive.
Why are they mean?
But they're mean.
Why are they mean?
Probably because they're just hurt. Probably because they're scared. Probably because they just need some love.
Well,
and there's some people out there that are not very pretty, that are really very nice. You can only judge and know people by their actions, not by how they look. The snakes, you can tell by how they look if they're poisonous or not. Mushrooms.
like Sammy is not poisonous.
No. Nope. And even as big as he'll get, he won't be dangerous. Snakes only hurt you if they think that you're food or if they think that you're going to hurt them.
Yeah, like poison snakes, if you try and pick up a poison snake, they will bite you.
Sometimes.
Yeah, if you scare them.
Mm-hmm. But you should never, ever, ever pick up a snake or eat a mushroom unless you know 100% for sure that it's safe.
Or if it's poisonous, then don't eat it or touch it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Eyeballs look so pretty.
Mm-hmm. I love his tail. I love his red tail so much.
And I love
Pretty.
I love his gray body.
Yeah.
His gray belly. His gray long belly. Dad,
Mm-hmm.
no, like snakes have long bellies.
That's just how they were made.
Wait, how did the snakes get made?
Huh?
How did the snakes get made?
Mean?
Made.
Oh. Well, mom and daddy snakes have babies. But before that, they evolved.
How did you do that?
That's a good question. So what people think, easy, don't move too fast. What people think is that there were some lizards a long time ago, like back in the dinosaur days or before that, that went underground. And the longer they were underground, the longer they lost their legs. Can you see that little bitty spike right there? Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's called a vestigial remnant. And it is believed that that is where, when snakes were lizards, they used to have legs. There's even hip bones inside of his body.
Inside of Sammy's body?
Mm-hmm. So snakes like boas and pythons that are considered older snakes have these remnants of when there were apparently legs on snakes. And then after a very long time, they didn't need legs anymore, so the legs just kind of faded away.
How did it do that?
It's kind of hard to explain, really, but
Can I put Sammy on my arm?
like if you never used your arms, if people had arms and they never used them, then eventually arms would start to fade away and people would have smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller arms after a really long time, talking about hundreds of thousands of years. Because even in the dinosaur times, there were snakes, which creates an interesting.
Dad?
Hold on, I'd just like to explore this for a second. Because in the dinosaur times, there was the Titan boa, huge, like a 60-foot snake, and that snake, did it evolve from an underground lizard? I've never thought about that before. I question the stories that we get around evolution. I'm not saying things don't evolve. They do.
Dad.
But
Dad.
Does it happen like we're told?
Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Is my arms gonna turn smaller?
No. If you keep getting stronger and stronger, your arms will get bigger and bigger.
So if you don't eat food, then your arms will get smaller and smaller.
Maybe. If you just don't use your arms, they'll get smaller and smaller. But, yeah.
But I haven't used my arms for like a long time.
What?
I haven't used my arms
Oh, yeah. You use your arms every day. Lots. You're strong. You're out there digging in the dirt and playing trucks and running up and down and eating food and doing all kinds of stuff.
And playing rock and roll.
Playing rock and roll on your drums and your
and
guitar.
Playing with you.
Of course. Yeah. You're good. You have strong arms. You need to go take a shower, though. You got a dirty face.
Dad,
playing in the dirt.
I'm going to put Sammy on my arm right here.
Yes. So, yeah. I think, personally, that we should even question what we're told about evolution. It's pretty obvious that our scientific knowledge changes pretty rapidly. And personally, I think it is rather naive and egotistical to believe that the current science is the absolute unchangeable truth when we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that truth changes over time, particularly when it comes to science.
Shata.
And religion.
Shata.
So, question the stories that you're told. Question whether or not they're true. Question the signs that we
Put them on my neck.
are presented with. Question everything. Don't stop questioning. You might just find out that the thing that you hated was the thing you should have loved all along. You might find out the thing that you loved all along was the thing that was really doing you harm.